Chinese food is one of the world's greatest cuisines, and Americans were first introduced to it in the mid-1800s during California's gold rush. Today, there are over 4,500 Chinese restaurants in the United States, which is more than all the McDonald's, Wendy's, KFC's, Pizza Hut's, and Taco Bell's combined. But how many of us actually cook Chinese food at home? Our guest today says that Chinese food doesn't have to be mysterious or difficult. I'm Grace Trafton of The Better Part. Stay tuned and watch him show us just how easy it is. Our guest, Chef Chenny Lin, immigrated to the United States with his wife Winnie more than 40 years ago. They settled in Kentucky, a place not particularly known for its exotic ethnic cuisines. But that's where he opened not one, but two successful Chinese restaurants. More recently, Chef Chenny published a cookbook titled Chinese Restaurant Recipes for the Home Cook. Let's go watch him in action. Hello, Kenny. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming today.
I'm glad I'm here.
So before you get started, tell me, when did you first get interested in cooking?
My mother was a driving force. That's why I love cooking.
Ah.
My dad invited all his friends and guests to our house just about every day. So she trained me well in the kitchen.
Ah. So you were interested from the time you were a small child?
Yes.
Ah, wonderful. So have you been a professional chef all your life?
I really started training to be a professional chef during 1976. I learned under my childhood friend in Vallejo, California.
Ah, in Vallejo.
Yeah.
Was there a good cooking school there? Is that why you went there?
Yeah, he has several Chinese restaurants.
Oh, I see.
And that's perfect for me.
I see. So how did you happen to settle in Kentucky when you first came to the United States?
Well, we started because my wife, she was attending a school there, Illinois State University. So I came join her after service.
Ah, you were in the service?
Yeah, I was in the service. I was a Chinese Air Force officer.
I see.
Yes.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
I see. And so that's why you came to Kentucky?
No, after she graduated and then found a job in Kentucky, that's why we moved to Kentucky since 1974.
Oh, I see. So it's because your wife, Winnie, had a job in Kentucky.
Yes.
And so in Kentucky, were there any Chinese restaurants before you opened up your first one?
Oh, yes. Many are Cantonese style.
Oh.
And I was the only Mandarin, Hunan, Sichuan style at that time.
And so how were you able to wean them off of the Cantonese food? Because that was the only thing they were used to.
That was a hard experience for me. It took me a long time to convince my customer to like my style of cooking. And first I saw that my style wasn't Chinese, authentic Chinese food at all.
Really? Oh.
So I did a lot of food tasting and food festival and cooking demonstration, of course, and I taught many years in the community for Chinese cooking too.
Oh, I see. So you were teaching Chinese cooking during
Yes.
that time. What inspired you to write your cookbook?
Well, many people love my recipe, and they beg for my recipe. That's why I decided to publish my first cooking book in 2014.
Ah, wonderful, wonderful. Well, without further ado, why don't you tell us what you're going to be cooking for us today?
Yes, today I love garlic, and so I'm going to share garlic chicken today. It's very simple and easy. Okay, first I like to demonstrate how to slice some meat here. See, this is a piece of breast, okay? It's kind of thick, so you start to split in half. Yeah.
And how important is it to cut the pieces just right?
Well, it's very important because stir fry, you use a high heat, high heat. If you don't have enough right thickness, or too thick or too thin, thin is okay. Too thick, it's hard for you to cook the raw meat perfectly.
I see, I see.
And today I use a diced chicken, you know.
So how challenging is it to cook authentic Chinese food with just the ingredients in the typical American pantry?
Well, I use any kind of ingredient is available, you know. That's my challenge.
I see. So you can adapt
Yes, yes.
the recipes to whatever Americans are used to.
You know, as only cooking, you encounter five senses. You have to touch it, right? Just like right now, I'm touching my meat. And you gotta see it, be able to see it. Of course, after you hear it from all these people, they love my cooking, and that's another thing reward me. And it smells good.
Oh, I bet.
Colorful, and freshness. That's my.
So it touches all your senses.
Yes.
Not just the taste buds.
No, that's the only thing, you know, in cooking I love about really take all the five senses.
What are some of the ingredients that a Chinese cook may use that may seem foreign to an American cook?
Well, for instance, like a black dry mushroom, of course you have to soak in the water, let it thaw,
Right,
and then you cut it. And black bean paste, ginger roots, and 5 spices, and then so on and so forth. There's a lot of them, you know. It really is strange to Americans.
To an American cook.
So right now, after I cut the meat, another thing is trick is you had to marinate the meat in order to taste good and you know what I do here. Put some meat in a bowl. Rice wine.
Rice wine.
And put some little bit rice wine there.
Now, could any other kind of wine be substituted?
Well, it depends. Like a white meat and red meat, of course. White meat we consider pork. Chicken you use white wine. And red meats I always use Chablis, the red sherry.
Oh, sherry.
Wine. Yeah, sherry wine, red wine. Okay. And what I do now, I put some cornstarch, okay?
Okay.
Okay. And kind of
And mix it really
mix
well.
very well. Make sure your cornstarch is completely dissolved with the meat. And a little bit of oil, not too much, a little bit.
Does it matter what kind of oil people
I
use?
love to use cooking corn oil.
Corn oil?
Yeah, they are not easy to break. They tend to get the high heat. You know, but I don't like the vegetable oil. It seems to me vegetable oil, when you use a high heat to cook, they'll give it some kind of rough smell in them. It doesn't taste right.
Oh.
So
how about peanut oil?
Peanut oil is okay, but a lot of people, they think peanut oil is not healthy. Actually, Chinese cooking, you don't use much oil. Just, you know, sparingly. Okay, I love peanut oil to deep fry. Like a tofu, you know, you kind of brown it. Okay, I let it sit over here, and then I have some already marinated before I came here, and then I
Okay.
just dump everything together, okay, and then get ready. And then some of those vegetables are already cut. At home, you have a celery, okay, you have a fresh mushroom, and you have a water chestnuts. That's what I use for vegetables today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So I'm going to put everything in this bowl here. Yeah. Because later on I'm going to stir fry with everything together.
So when you're chopping up the vegetables, are you always trying to get them about the same size?
It's pretty much so. Yes, you're right. You're right. Yeah. That's. See what I do. I have two cleavers, one with the meat, one for the
For
veggies.
the vegetables.
So for the celery, I cut in half. You know, you cut in strip, and you do like this, holding it, okay, holding. Make sure everything is in order. That's what I do for the celery. Okay, mushroom, same way, you cut in half and go like this. Okay, there's a vegetable here. Okay, now, shall we begin?
Yes, please.
Okay. Good thing about this electric wok, you know, you can use all kinds of utensils to cook good Chinese food, because good chef always use what are available for them, the ingredients, what I'm talking about, to make a good, tasty Chinese food. But you have to learn how to do all this balancing the sauce. Like here right now, I like to use chicken broth. I always make my own chicken broth. So that's what I have here. Inside that, soy sauce, wine, white pepper. Yeah. White pepper is not spicy. It's give you enhance the taste bud. Okay. And I have a sesame oil and sugar and a little bit salt. Don't put too much salt. Good thing about my recipe, I'm not particularly emphasize certain part of whatever, as long as it tastes good. With your own judgment, you want a little bit salty, you put a little bit soy sauce or.
But the soy sauce is already salty, so why would you need salt?
Because it's salt. Soy sauce is a preserved kind of juice, what you call it. And salt has always have a kind of enhance your touch. That's why I don't use much salt in my cooking. But little bit, it's more enhance up the taste of the food. Kind of soy sauce is not strong enough to really make a food balance. And that's what I have here. I think this is ready.
Good.
So first thing I do, put some oil in there.
Now, you were saying that some people think that peanut oil is not healthy, and actually that's not true. Peanut oil is very healthy.
I think so too, but reason why in the United States, a lot of people allergic to peanut.
Oh, that's true.
That's why
right.
I forgot to mention it, because a lot of people, they cannot stand peanut.
Yeah, they're allergic.
That's why I use this corn oil.
So
instead.
in your restaurants, you used corn oil?
If I use corn oil most of the time, but because of this cholesterol things going on, I have to watch out what kind of oil I use because I do serve some of the deep fries, chicken, beef, whatever. So I had to pick the right oil and healthy for the customers.
Very good, very good.
Yep, okay. Now, first thing first, let's do this chicken. You stir fry until the chicken turn into white color. That means that's a complete cook. See, that's usually in the restaurant they have right equipment, high heat, very high heat, so very quick. You have to serve very quick. But electric wok is safe. If you don't have any confidence, because it will take a little bit longer to cook the meat.
Right. So in the restaurant, do you use a flame?
More very high flame, very high flame.
Not electric.
Yeah, and they always flip all the time.
Ah, yes, I've seen that.
Yeah, that's because high heat. Otherwise, you'll burn your food very quickly.
So did you do that in the restaurant? You flipped?
Oh yes, gotta have a very strong.
Very strong.
Oh yes, flip all the time.
Work up an appetite too, I bet.
Oh yes, yes. And that way, reason why the restaurant food is much tasty because of high heat and quick stir and a good sauce. Okay, a good sauce really makes a lot of difference.
Oh yeah, I bet that makes all the difference in the world.
Yes.
So I noticed that you were using cleaver for chopping. So Americans often aren't used to using cleaver. So can they just use regular?
Yes, as long as the knife is sharp.
Sharp.
Okay, because sometimes you use a regular knife to cut the meat. It seems like meat slides on you.
Ah.
So that's why another technique, you have to hold the meat with your claw.
Ah.
And with your knuckle to move.
Oh, I see.
See, that way you use a cleaver.
Oh, I see.
So like here, you cannot allow have a big frame anyway.
No,
so
you can have a flame here.
You can have a frame. So that's ready. Oh, I got this good. I got this. See, they are beautiful.
Yes.
Because you marinate it, and the food won't taste too dry. A lot of time, if you don't do it right, the food tastes very dry, not juicy.
Now, how long should you marinate it?
Marinate it usually about 10 minutes.
Okay.
You do it before. Only thing about scaring people away about Chinese cooking because it takes a long time to prepare. Cut, prepare, okay? But nowadays you can buy those pre-cut.
That's true.
Yeah, pre-cut everything, pre-cut
That's
everything.
what I try to do.
Yeah, but it's hard to get it. That's why I bought this cane kind water chestnuts. That's okay.
So that's the only canned food that you use. Everything else is fresh, right?
If I am in the Chinatown, I love to buy those fresh ones.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, you buy fresh
they do
ones.
have a fresh one.
Ah.
Yeah, very, very nice. Of course, you had to do all the preparing.
Right.
Take the skin off.
Right.
And that.
A lot more work.
Lots more work. That's why I say, buy whatever is available in the market. Okay. Just don't let them scare you. As soon as you grab that technique and create the food dishes you love for yourself, That's rewarding. That's very rewarding.
Absolutely. So in goes the vegetables, huh?
Yep, there goes vegetables. And here's the other one.
Now, I know that some of the vegetables that Americans typically eat, like broccoli and carrots, they're not really native to China, are they?
Well, right now, I think in China, you just about be able to buy everything.
Everything,
Yeah,
okay.
broccoli, and it's easy to get, and also they are good.
Oh, yeah.
They're good substitute vegetables,
But there's also lots of Chinese vegetables
Yes,
that
yes,
Americans may not typically use, right?
Right. Like, for instance, like this wood ear.
Oh, wood
Yeah,
ear, right.
Yeah.
I've had it in restaurants, but I've never used it myself in cooking.
No, it's a kind of rare ingredient, one of them, because Chinese cooking, they emphasize on this balance.
Balance.
Health balance. So, which means, yin yang, hot and cold, So that's why they use a lot of those ingredients American is not familiar with.
So what else besides wood ear?
Wood ear and goji.
Goji.
Goji it's more like it's a vegetable, but it has a health ingredient in there.
It has health benefits?
Yeah, health benefit. That's why you don't see a lot of those ingredients really are very real to people. Mm-hmm. But you have to know each one characteristic, and in order to use it in the right way.
And you can get those ingredients in the Asian food stores now, right?
Yes. Ranch 99. You have a ranch 99 on you? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So what did you just put in there?
Oh, the garlic.
That was the garlic.
Minced garlic, yeah.
How much minced garlic is there?
That's about 6 cloves. Cloves. Yeah, 6 of them, big one.
Oh,
okay?
great.
And then you smash it and then chop it. But you can buy already chopped anyway.
I love garlic. The more the better, I say.
Oh, yes. They really good. Yeah, you can smell it right now, right?
I can smell that now. Smells really good.
Yep, then I dump all the chicken there. Okay. Blend together.
Too bad the audience can't smell this.
I know. Maybe sometime we can invite them come here, See that? Now we dump all this in there.
And what's in there?
Yeah, it's with the soy sauce. That's a chicken broth, soy sauce, a little bit sugar, and a little bit. I only use about not even teaspoon, about half teaspoon salt.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. How much sugar did you put in there?
Sugar for this one about tablespoon. Tablespoon, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Reason I use the sugar, a lot of time in the restaurant they use Minnesotan glutamate.
Oh no, please don't do that.
Yeah, that's called a Chinese food syndrome. I don't use it.
Right, good.
Because you want to taste that sweetness, not overpower.
Right.
But you use a sugar. It really is a good substitute for the MSG.
Yeah, a lot of people are allergic to it.
Oh yes, you got a sweat or you got a dry mouth, all kinds, and side effect. Yeah.
Now, can tofu be substituted for some of the meat and chicken dishes for the vegetarians?
Yes, a lot of people love it, for vegetarian. That's why the one thing I highly recommend the tofu. You can use the tofu to make called a creative vegetarian mapo tofu.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Usually mapo tofu you use a ground pork, but instead of that, you just don't use the pork.
Just use the pork.
Tofu. Yeah, use the tofu, and a lot of hot sauce.
A lot of hot
Yeah,
sauce.
hot sauce, pepper sauce. That's more like Hunan Sichuan style. Yeah. See, that's I need to let it kind of boil it up. And now we need to thicken it up.
So you're
Use some. That's why I use water here. A little bit of water. Okay.
So that's cornstarch.
Cornstarch, yeah.
Is that better
Bound all the food and then sauce together.
So is that better than flour, using flour?
Flour is chunked up.
Ah, okay.
You know, if you don't do it right, it's just
I
crump.
see,
Yeah.
I see. So the cornstarch doesn't do that.
Yeah, cornstarch, you know, if you dissolve them well, and then circular motion. Let me see. Good. Use this. Wonderful.
Looks wonderful.
Okay, we can serve that in the wok too. There we go.
Well, Chef Kenny, thank you so much. That
Thank
looks
you.
absolutely wonderful.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming.
Thank you for inviting.
The Better Part is produced by volunteers and absolutely no experience is required. So come check us out. Just leave a message at the Cupertino Senior Center at 408-777-3150. I hope you've been inspired today to take on some tasty new experiences in your kitchen. Thank you for being with us. And remember to also watch us on YouTube and Roku. See you next time. Bye-bye.